It's Dr. Christy Ennis. Welcome to Follow Me Friday, where motion is lotion with Pilates today. And today's exercises are not only gentle enough to do every day, but they're really going to work on strengthening and lengthening. So all you need is a mat, and for some of the seated positions, if your hips are really tight, a pillow also helps. Okay, lying on our backs, we're just gonna get our position set first because that's always important. So you're gonna rock back and forth a little bit. So arching and flattening the back until you find your comfortable position. That's different for everybody because everybody's body's built a little bit differently. And then from there, once you find that position, you're gonna think about gently pulling your belly button in, right? Not a suck in, just that little pull in to activate all that deep stuff in there. Hands are gonna stay down by our sides. Staying in that position, we're going to start with a march and alternating legs. So it's just a little lift. Like I said, alternating legs. We're going to do 10 on each side, so 20 total, but you don't even have to count, although sometimes I am a miserable counter. That's fairly true, but I'll try to do the best I can here. Your job, though, is to focus on that deep position. Make sure that you are not twisting and arching, and you're just keeping everything nice and steady, except for those legs that are moving, right? And you notice I'm not lifting too high either. If I lift really high, kind of negate what we're trying to do here with those deeper ab muscles too. And it does sometimes take, in the beginning especially, a lot of concentration to keep those abs engaged and to not wiggle from side to side. No wiggling with it. We're going to do one more on each side, and then we're switching it up. Okay, I'm going to take this leg here, knee is going to come in towards my chest, and then I'm straightening out that leg, and you're lowering as far as you can, again, without arching through that spine. So it's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the ground. Notice mine does not, because otherwise I would most definitely arch. We're going to get 10 on each side here. If it's comfortable for you, you can point your toes if that feels better. You can play around and even try to flex that foot to get a little bit more stretch in the calf and the hamstring. So again, pointing the toes will get a little bit more stretch through that shin, and then obviously right the opposite will get more stretch in through the back of the leg. Oh, today that feels good for me. And that might change day to day, and that's okay. Couple more on this side, and then of course we'll switch. And then the other option is don't do anything with your foot, right? Just leave it right where it is. There's no one right way this has to be done, with the exception of making sure you keep that torso nice and steady. Nice. Okay, we're gonna switch sides, same idea. Bringing that knee in, again, not all the way, probably about a 90-degree angle. Straighten it out. Ooh, that side's tight. And then come back down. Again, I'm stopping before I arch that spine. Ooh, my stomach's making noise too. Must be lunchtime. Or my abs are just working really hard. Maybe it's that too. If you do want to see more live videos and actually have access to a live Q&A with me, check out my membership too, which I'll link for you guys. You will notice too, even though we're working all the abs here, that one side might seem a little bit more difficult than the other, because obviously we can have a little bias one way or the other too. So just pay attention to those little things. And really just, again, try to focus deep, deep in there. We've got 2 more to go. 9. Oh, my stomach really is loud. Last one is 10. Okay, so now I'm going to take my right hand behind my head. The left leg is going to lift like we did in that beginning with that march. And I'm going to bring that elbow towards that knee. Notice I'm not yanking, so I'm not bringing my, trying not to bring my neck too much into the picture. I'm really leading with those obliques as I go, trying to keep my head looking mostly straight up. And again, really keeping that elbow almost all the way open. It's really, really tempting. Trust me, I know, to just kind of do this, right? It makes it feel like you're getting more out of it. But a lot of time that just strains the neck. So just really focus in, like I said, on that side doing the work here. I find that breathing out tends to help me the most. You can do whatever though feels good for you as long as you continue to breathe, right? That's kind of the key element here. Don't hold your breath. And if you need to reset at any time, right? If you're losing your spine position or pushing or blooping, like I call it, those abs out, switch it up. Or take a break, I should say. We've got one more on this side and then switch into the other side. And obviously, even changing positions, you want to stay nice and controlled, right? So lift, add that little twist. I feel like I need to put something pretty on my ceiling since I feel like I kind of stare at that a lot. You guys should leave me some suggestions in the comments below on what I should put up there that would be pretty and fun to look at. Not that you guys will see it, but I will. I also have my opposite hand out to the side, but you can keep that right down by your side if that's more comfortable for you. Again, it's all about what feels best to you, right? We want to move. We want to get things feeling good. One more here, and then one more exercise in this lying down position. So make sure you bring those feet about hip width apart. This time you are going to try to tuck that tailbone so you're flattening your back out if it feels comfortable for your body. If not, it's okay, don't do it. Here we're gonna lift that butt up. I'm lifting as high as I can without arching through either the lower back or even the rib cage, which for me is about here, trying not to use my neck too. Sometimes that's hard for me. Arms are gonna come up. We're staying in that bridge pose, and then one arm goes back and then back to the middle. So we're just alternating. And again, notice too, and it might be tough to see a little bit, but I can get my left arm to go almost all the way back, and the right arm, I have to stop. Otherwise, I'm gonna arch actually in through almost like the shoulder blade area. And that is because I have tightness. I have tightness kind of lots of places. That's why I do these things. So hopefully you guys will feel looser just like me, as well as stronger. Right now, really working those butt and hamstring muscles too here. At any time, bring that butt down if you need to, and just stick with that arm to try to get in a little more stretch through those lats, right? So it's okay if you have to give your buns and your hamstrings a break. I'm gonna come back up and do one more on each side, and then we are actually gonna flip right onto our side. Lying on your side, let's get that position set first again. So make sure that you are all the way rolled onto your side. You can always stick another pillow under there if you need to, if it's uncomfortable on the hip. Torso lifted a little bit away to not smush your favorite candy or cupcake. I always choose cupcake vanilla, just so you know. And then you want to look down at your legs. You should see your feet and your toes, but not much of your leg, maybe a little bit of that upper thigh, right? If you see a lot of your legs are too far forward, and then we won't be using that side butt, which is what we're trying to do. I'm going to bring this top leg back so it's aiming towards my heel, and then turning that foot down really engages in through those side muscles. And we're adding that lift, just like this. Again, if this is just uncomfortable for you with that foot, it's okay to keep it pointed forward. The biggest thing here is don't let that leg swing forward. You'll start to use your hip flexors, which are usually pretty strong in people, and these tend to be the weaker ones. These are our stability ones. They're the ones that if you are walking and you kind of see that little waddle, sometimes we see that, well, we see that all the time actually. Those are the muscles that are not working as well as they should. Sometimes it looks pretty sexy, but sometimes it's because there's some instability and weakness there. And if you've ever been pregnant, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Even if you haven't been pregnant, you probably know what I'm talking about. So not to exclude anybody that's not pregnant. Ooh, yep. Legs are feeling it today, that's for sure. We've got one more. We're gonna stay on this side for one other exercise, and then we'll do both on the other side. So don't move the upper part of your leg, but you're just gonna bend that bottom part, so we're still in that straight line. Feet are gonna stay glued together, and then we're lifting that top knee up. Again, still making sure that you're not collapsing down into that torso. I know a smushed cupcake still tastes good, but it just doesn't look as pretty. Although, that being said, sometimes the icing and the cupcake mashed together actually does taste pretty good. But still don't smush it, please. Keep it elevated a little bit away. We've got a few more on this side, and like I said, we of course have to switch to the other side. 2 more to go. Make sure that you're not rolling backwards as you do this either, right? So it may mean you don't lift quite as high, and that's okay. Some days I move better than others. All right. It is under 30 degrees here, or at least it was, so that might be part of it. Okay, same idea. Get that position set. Bring that leg back towards, I had to move a little bit, that heel. And then turn that foot down and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just have my top hand resting here so that I'm not tempted to smash it down on any other cupcake either. 2 more like this, and then we're bending those knees. Good. Okay, again, don't move the upper thigh, just the lower leg, feet glued together, top leg comes up for 10 of these as well. And then we're actually going up into a seated position. And you'll notice maybe one side doesn't lift quite as high as the other side. And again, just pay attention to that, and those are the areas to work on a little bit more. We all have them. 2 more. Nice. Okay, good. We're going to go ahead and sit on up. 2 more to go. These are seated, and this is where if you need a pillow, you can use it to help just support your hips. I happen to have a fabulous yoga pillow. You can use any pillow you want. You do not have to use a pillow either if that feels better for you not to. And I am not going to, because it does feel better for me not to. So I'm going to bring one leg out and the other one's going to bend here. Again, you can always keep it out to the side a little bit too if you need to. That's not a problem. I'm going to stretch everything here though. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Sitting up nice and tall, you're going to lean it forward from the chest, not slumping forward. Lean it forward from the chest. And then, again, keeping those abs engaged, you're going to lean back as far as you comfortably can to feel those abs working, but not too much stress in through the hip or in through the back. And if you can see, I am not moving a whole heck of a lot, and that's okay. If you can move more, you do you, right? You always do you. Make sure you do that. But we all are a little bit different in what we can and can't do. Sometimes too, it feels comfortable to place a pillow underneath this knee if you need to, if you like this position. But really making sure too, you're engaging in through those shoulder blade muscles by giving a little bit of a squeeze together. We're working on posture here too at the same time. Lots of body parts that work in Pilates, which is one of the reasons I absolutely love it, and I do a lot of it. Okay, we've got a couple more on this side. And obviously as we're coming forward too, we're stretching those hamstrings and those calves out, which, oh, yep, feels good and needed. 1 more to go. So 1 more lean forward, and then 1 more slide it back and switching. Same idea. I'm going to keep those toes pointed up so I get that little bit more of a stretch, and I'm going to reach it forward and come on back. Again, remember, lead with your chest, not with your arms to try to reach. I got monkey arms, so it's pretty easy for me, but that kind of cheats the hamstring a little bit too. Really try to keep this leg that's straight, engaged, and pressing into the ground too. Woo. I noticed that I shifted a little. Also try to keep straight, right? If your arms get tired from being held in this position, it's okay. Just let them go, right? We're actually working, like I said, not just posture, but you're even working those shoulders and arm muscles too a little bit. And if you need to have a little bend in your knee too, I forgot to mention that, that's totally okay to do too. Your leg doesn't have to be completely straight out, right? We've got 2 more here, and we've got 1 more exercise. Remember, these are all broken down into on your back, on your side, and seated. So if there's one position that just doesn't feel okay for you, it's okay to not do that for right now. You can make it a goal to try to get to that. Okay, same idea. If you need the pillow, use it. We're going to go as wide as you comfortably can. I feel like I just want to sit here for a minute, to be honest, but arms are going to come up. You are going to rotate to the side, 1 arm, other arm, and then again, it's that little lean. Use those abs to pull you back up. And we can just go all at once. I just want to just kind of show you what that looked like. Lean, not a big lean for me today, that's for sure. Again, every day can be a little bit different, right? That's 3. We're going to get 10 total. 4, and I will link some other Pilates videos for you at the end here as well that are, of course, at least in my opinion, fun to do too. We all may have a little bit of a different version of what fun is, but that's okay. 7, 8, my long monkey arms might hit my screen, so I just have to be careful of that. That's why I'm bending on that side. And we have 1 more to go. Yay, pat yourself on the back for a job well done.